let's see how much money the weekly paying dividend ETFs have made me just in the last 7 days, because it's going to be pretty insane. I know these ones have been paying out some crazy dividends, but we have a new winner in the account, and I will show you all of that and more in this video if you are interested, of course. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future on these weekly dividend ETFs. There's supposed to be more coming out, so I will be updating the portfolio to show all of them, and I'm really, really excited about that. So as always, let's roll the intro. So to update you with all the numbers in the account, our total value is now at $863.37. Now, one reason why this is absolutely insane is because I did a high yielding dividend account on Robinhood, and I will show the results of that one soon. We had some crazy funds in there like Coney, tsly, and then some safer ones like Main Street Capital, ARCC, and the total return for the year is about 18%. Now, if you've noticed, my calculation on the screen has an 8% return in 11 weeks. So in 11 weeks, this has returned, roughly a third of what the other account, less than a third even, of what the other account has returned in so much longer. It's absolutely insane how high these are yielding, and there's some huge losers in this account, one of which is draining the value, which is a bummer, but that's how it goes in the investing game. So absolutely wild. We've got, like I said, an 8% return in just 11 weeks. Who knows what these will do for the entire year? I'm so excited for 2025 to see what's going to happen. We're going to jump into all the different positions I have. We'll go over what I paid versus what they're worth now. And then we're going to look at the last 4 dividends on the charts, check out how the trend is going with these funds, if people are buying them, if they're selling them. And then we're going to pull up our dividend tracking spreadsheet and see all the data spread out nice and easy for us to read. So let's jump into our data. Starting off with our biggest loser, down 8% in the account, is IWMY. I was initially really excited about this one when they announced it was going weekly. I was actually pretty pumped, and it's just never shown up. It's been terrible. Our average cost is $34.61. Current price of $31.85. We have 3 shares. Market value is $95.55. When I pull up the spreadsheet, it'll tell us exactly how much money we've lost on it, but I think this is one of the only ones that's actually negative in the account with the dividends, because it pays out a nice dividend. So I'm on Moomoo. If you guys are interested in the Moomoo link, you can open your account with them. It's pretty phenomenal. I've loved it so far, and it helps support the channel. Of course, we can see the last dividend dropped this thing like crazy, reaching new all-time lows since the reverse split, which, not great. AUM, 116 million. Our dividend yield of 108%, sitting around where it normally is. And our last 4 dividends are 32 cents a share, 36 cents a share, 25.7 cents a share, and 32.46 cents per share, meaning we had a really solid dividend. This one paid out a nicer dividend than we've seen in the recent couple of weeks. But we're just not able to recoup the money because it continues to trend downwards. Now, what surprised me is how well the other Defiance funds have done. I'm really, really excited for the new weekly dividend payers we might be getting in 2025 from RoundHill, and then a few more from YieldMax. I don't know. I've heard that in some of the comments. If you guys know that for a fact, let me know what is going weekly, because I will be buying it in this account, and I will have to send money to this account to do that, of course. But I'm happy to do that because it is so much fun tracking these dividends. So now we're going to go into our next fund. But before I do that, let's say a quick word from our sponsor. So a quick shout out to 3D Capital for sponsoring the channel and a couple of videos. It's been absolutely amazing working with them. They are super, super nice guys and have some pretty insane investing histories. Go check them out. I'm showing their website right now. They have a YouTube channel and a website. I'll link it all down below for you guys. They have some crazy stuff coming out. The real reason I like this one, and I have invested in it, full disclosure, is of what they are investing in. It's like a penny stock ETF. They are investing in blockchain, AI, machine learning, and then Internet of Things and biotech, all of which are some crazy, insane, they have insane potential, these markets. So, of course, AI, everything blockchain right now is going absolutely crazy. And so I'm really happy. The ticker is IDKFF. It is an OTC stock. As always, do your own research and invest carefully, and check out my full video on them. And now let's get back to our weekly paying dividend ETFs. So now we have QQQY, which is down 3.51%. And that's not terrible. It's roughly about where it was last week, down maybe 1% more. But our average cost of $34.37 and a current price of $33.16. So not great. You know, the dividends have been nice. And what I love about this one, and I wonder if WDTE is going to be the same, this is starting to trend sideways really nicely. Really, really nicely. Where it's kind of, it's not really falling like it was. I mean, compared to here, it was paying out insane amounts, and the volatility was insane. The NAV erosion was super, super present. Now it's evening out. So I love to see that. AUM of 180 million and a dividend yield of 81%. Now, the last 4 dividends, buying has slowed down, it seems, or at least volume has. We have 24.6 cents, 28.3 cents, 23 cents, and now 28 cents. So again, a really large dividend, one of the larger ones we've seen in the last couple of weeks, and I'm really, really happy about that. I hope they continue that trend. It would really make me consider buying this one in my main account, but we'll just have to keep watching and see what it does. And now we'll go to WDTE. The last of the Defiance funds, it is down 3.29%, WDTE. Our average cost of $42.18 and a current price of $40.80. So kind of a bummer. This one is down as well. The dividends have been pretty solid, but again, we're seeing a little bit more, I don't know what you would call this. It's just kind of bouncing. It's not dropping too far. We have fallen through a little bit of this support here, but who knows? Maybe we'll see a good rise back up. AUM 87 million. I think it came down a little bit from last week, but it has been trending upward, and a dividend yield of 51.27%. Now, these dividends, like I say in every video, it's not really realistic. You have to calculate it yourself based off of what you've seen, because the dividends, they fluctuate heavily, and so you never want to base what you're buying on just what the dividend yield is. But I think this one has some potential. We did see some crazy volume. I don't know why, Tuesday, November 19. But last 4 dividends, 24.5 cents, 28.9 cents. Then we had 20 cents and 20 cents again. I say this almost in every video. I have no problem with these paying out dividends and trading sideways. That's like kind of the whole point, in my opinion. That's the idea behind an income fund. You don't need price appreciation. It's just a bonus for what we've seen with some of these other funds. But I'm fine with these trading sideways if they have a good return. And that was the whole point of this experiment, was to see if the return is actually good. So I'm really, really happy. We'll pull it up on the spreadsheet for you guys to check out. I'm really pumped with how some of these have returned, and not so much others, IWMY specifically. So now let's check out our RoundHill ETFs. Before I get into RDTE, I want to give you guys a huge shout out. Thank you so much for all the support you've been giving me. I am so grateful, and I am so thankful and appreciative of you guys. I really am. I love doing this. It's so much fun, and I can't even believe the support that I have gotten. I'm really excited. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subs by the end of the year, which is crazy because I think I was at like 1,800 at the start, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it really means the world to me that you guys are all joining me on this journey. Let's get back into RoundHill. We can see it's actually down. This is the first week I think we've seen RoundHill down 1.33%. Our average cost of $44.36, and it's currently $43.77. So this one, the reason why it's probably down is because RoundHill ran, and I'll show this on the chart. It did move up quite nicely, and we bought it at a higher level. We had 2 shares initially, bought 1 more, and so that brought our cost basis up. See, our cost basis was $44.18. Then we bought it $44.74, and now we're at $43.7. So we'd be down either way, which is crazy. This one has fallen quite a bit, and we've seen a lot of volume, mostly red in the trading. Interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna buy more. I mean, I might. I'm not for a little bit. I need to wait and save some money. We're doing a lot of stuff with the channel. I need to put money into different things for you guys, but that's pretty insane. Volume of, we actually see 325,000. So I mean, I wonder if that's higher than usual. I don't usually read off the volumes because I don't really care about it as much. I'm not day trading these or swing trading them. AUM 165 million even, which is insane. I don't know how that's an even number. I've never seen AUM be an even number, but good. And then we have a dividend yield of 8.9%. Not accurate. Like I said, not enough dividends, but we'll look at the last 4 dividends paid out. We had 41 cents. We had 33 cents rounded, 28.25 cents, and 37 cents. So still a really solid dividend. I don't know why this thing fell so heavily. It's the second largest dividend we've seen in the last month. So who knows? If you guys know why why RDTE is down, let me know in the comments. I'm not selling. I like this fund a lot, and it is still returning quite nicely, which we'll see in just a minute. But first, let's check out XDTE. Now we're back with our positive returners. We have XDTE up 2%. Nothing too crazy. We still only have 2 shares. Once we get our total cash up to the price of XDTE, I will be buying more. I'll show you guys on our chart why I haven't yet, because it is still a pretty large portion of the account. We can see, again, only our 1 buy, and this one's chart is so beautiful. I say it every time. For a weekly payer, for one that we've seen a lot of these consistently lose NAV, this one is just looking beautiful to me. Trading kind of sideways, no crazy patterns, no crazy runs or crazy drops, maybe a few here or there, but nothing too insane. AUM of 272 million and a dividend yield of 17%. It is higher than that. I believe last time I checked, it was roughly, what is it, in the 20s, high 20s, something around there. I haven't done a video on XDTE for a while, but maybe I should do another one just to do a catch up, because it has been pretty crazy what it's been returning. So I'm really happy with this one. Let's check the last 4 dividends: 25.8 cents, 18.5 cents, 23.5 cents, and now 15.3. So a lower dividend for sure. One of the lowest ones we've seen since October. Not terrible. Like I said, these things, they kind of bounce up and down sometimes. It depends on what's going on in the market overall and with implied volatility, all that good stuff. If you're used to writing options, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain, but I'm happy with the return with this one. Let's jump into QDTE and see what the most popular weekly dividend ETF is paying out. Up 3.4%, which is quite phenomenal. And we see an average cost of $42.40 and a current price of $43.83. So we are up quite nicely. And again, we have 3 shares of this. Our cost average was up a little bit, but because it's been doing so well lately, it doesn't hurt us much at all. Now, it's not showing us our purchases. Let's see. Yes, so we had a buy at $42.51 and initially $42.33. So pretty solid. Again, QDTE's chart is a little bit uglier to me, but we're looking like we're in an uptrend, which I love to see. It looks like it because our data is showing us, not only with the charts, but with the money we've been paid and the dividends we've been paid. And a huge AUM, $622.75 million, and a 25.5% dividend distribution, which is wild. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I am loving this fund. I own multiple of these. I don't own the Defiance funds. I own every fund in my retirement account but the Defiance funds, and you can kind of see why. But I actually purchased more of YMAG and YieldMax because of how well they've been performing. Last 4 dividends is, I have been recording with this too big. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so bad at remembering. But we can see it's 25 cents, 22 cents, 24 cents, and 16.5 cents. So a pretty low dividend compared to what we've seen. One of the lower ones for a while. Again, it might just be a slow week. We had some pretty good dividends last week, so a low week is never going to hurt too badly. You know, it might hurt it might be a bummer if you're living off this income. I'm not. I'm reinvesting, so I'm okay with it. But as long as the price remains steady and these dividends can be semi-consistent, at least in an upward trend, I am very, very happy. So let's check out our fan favorite YieldMax ETFs. YMAG is now our top percent gainer in the account at 5.85%. It has done phenomenally well the last week, going from our second place returner to our first place. And YMAX didn't do terribly. Sure, it might be down a little bit, but it's not bad. Now, we can see these ones have odd numbers of shares because drip is on for these ones, and we have gained already a fourth. We've already gained a quarter of a whole nother share just in the distributions, which is insane. Now, one interesting thing, too, is YMAX is catching up, and I'll show that when we show YMAX. But YMAG has been performing extremely well from the lows of $18.20 now to over $20 a share. Really, really solid. AUM of $275 million and a dividend yield of 32%. No complaints. Absolutely no complaints. These things have been doing so much better since going weekly. I'm really, really happy about it. We had 6 cents a share for the dividend, and then 20, and then 27, and now 17. So a little bit on the lower end, but not terrible. Like I said, these ones, we see them bounce around all the time. But all in all, I'm happy with YMAG. I'm happy with it in my retirement account. Man, word salad, I'm jumbling. But I think that this one, it was my favorite in the beginning, and it's still up there. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite still. Maybe for this week at least, but last week it was definitely YMAX because it was outperforming. So let's see how YMAX has been doing this last week. So what I was saying is we already have almost a quarter of a share of YMAX as well, even though DRIP has been on less, meaning it's been paying out more in dividends. So we have a 4% return, which is great. We had an average cost of $17.60 and a current price of $18.30. The chart's a little bit ugly. It did tank pretty heavily until it switched over to these weeklies, but we've seen a lot of volume recently, which is really, really interesting. So AUM, 646 million. So YMAX is the largest fund in the account. QDTE comes in second, I believe. What was it, 625 or something like that? With the 40% dividend yield for YMAX. That's why people love it. The returns are there. I know it might sound crazy. This thing has returned an insane amount so far. You're going to be very, very surprised when I show you because I'm so happy with what this one has done. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pull up our dividend tracking spreadsheet and see all of these numbers laid out for you guys. So if you guys are interested, this is a spreadsheet that I had created for the channel. It's part of our channel memberships for the 3rd tier. It helps support me and I really appreciate that. But if not, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it looks good. Let me know if you have any critiques about it. It shows us our full breakdown, our annual, our monthly, our weekly dividends, our daily dividends, our yield on cost, our dividends received, $69.40 so far. Days gain, cost basis, all that good stuff, even diversification. So what I'm looking at here is RDTE is our largest. I am going to buy another share of XDTE, but it is still not our largest by even close. I mean, we can see that YMAX is only 11%, XDTE is 12%, and RDTE and QDTE are 15%, with WDTE being our lowest, which I am okay with. You guys know I had this custom made so we can pull up all of our monthly dividends and track them, and I have been so happy with this. Maybe I should have this happen weekly too, because that could be really, really cool. I don't know how easy that would be, but just clicking through, we can see the insane dividends that have been paid out, and then we have YMAX. Absolutely insane. So we're going to go over and look at our dividends that were paid out. I'm going to click the weekly dividend log tab. So you guys know I had a full spreadsheet that broke this down prior that I had made, and it was really, really ugly. So this one shows everything in a much better way. We can actually see each dividend that's been paid out since the beginning and in the weekly format, which I think is really, really key. We do skip some weeks depending on when the payout calendar days are, but that is okay. It's not a full week, so it still counts as being weekly dividend ETFs. This is just the easiest way to format it. So we saw some really nice dividends. IWMY paid out 97 cents, which is a little bit in the middle with what we've seen. Not on the low end, but not on the high end either. It paid out a lot higher at the beginning, and then we had a crazy $1.27, and I'm not sure why, and then it trailed back off again. QQQY, a really solid dividend, one of the highest that we've seen. I think it's the second highest so far. Really happy with that, and that's why the return on that one has been so good. WDTE, again, low, but it hasn't been downtrending in price as much, so the return is better, and we'll check that out in just a moment. Then we have QDTE, 49 cents. This one surprised me a little bit because now we do have 3 shares. So we purchased one around this date early in December or maybe late in November. And so this is one of the lower dividends that we've seen so far. Not super bummed about it. I'm sure it will bounce back, and I'm not really stressing. What's interesting is XDTE did the same thing. We only have 2 shares of XDTE still. So this one it's tied with the lowest dividend that we've seen, but I'm not complaining. I'm sure it will bounce back just like it did last time. And we have RDTE at $1.11, an insane dividend, really showing off, and we're really showcasing how we purchased that 3rd share. And we're way up. This is our highest dividend. I mean, we can do some quick math and see what it would have been if we do a 1.11 divided by, we'll do 337, multiply that by 2. So we would have had a 74-cent dividend without. There's probably an easier way to do that math. It would have been a 74% one, which would be, what, 3rd highest? So not bad. But still, happy. You really see the dividends jump. And that's what I love about this challenge is you see the dividends jump like crazy when you buy another share. And it motivates me so much to just keep buying more and more shares. I save money, so I buy more shares. Boom, there you go. Then we have YMAG, which paid out 89 cents. Not bad, still on the higher end, but this one should continue to trail up. YMAG and YMAX have drip on. So it should continue to evenly trail up. We should see compounding really taking over, and I'm really so curious how this looks at the end of 2025. So my plan is for this one specifically, if you guys are part of the channel just because of this one, which I appreciate you regardless, even if you only watch these videos, we will have all of 2025 on here as well. So we'll be able to go back into 2024 and see if the dividends were higher, if they were lower, what the lowest has been, what the highest has been. And with drip on for YMAG and YMAX, I want to see how the dividends being paid out at the end of 2025 compared to the end of 2024. We may have an insane amount more of dividends with all the reinvesting going on. I'm so excited to see how it works. And thus, I will continue putting out videos on this every single week. What day is it today? I am probably one day late with this one. It's been busy. If you haven't noticed, all of this is new. This desk back here, you can't really see it. I did a big room renovation, so I've been so busy. But let's check out the positions tab and see what our winners are in the account and what the loser is, even though we all already know. So I've zoomed in far for you guys. We do have cash of 1.66%, which is $14.34, showing us that we just have been collecting dividends from the Defiance funds and the RoundHill funds, because those ones don't have drip on either. Number of shares, I update this every time, especially when we get some dividends that repurchase with drip. And every time I buy a new share price, day change, all this stuff. I do like this, seeing the 52-week high and low. I normally don't buy things at the high, but look at the lows. The Defiance funds are all continuing to fall more and more and more. And this is with the split adjusted, which is why otherwise it would be like halfway through. But the split adjusted shows these are near all-time lows, if not all-time lows. It's really disappointing. Sliding all the way over. I'm surprised that XDTE is near all-time highs. Like, check that out. It's been moving. But all the others are still almost above half. YMAX is down a little bit. I might buy more YMAX. I'm going to be real. It is beaten down, it seems. I don't know if there's a reason for it, but I might buy more. Market return, we've lost $8.28 on IWMY, $3.60 on QQQY, and WDTE is down 76 cents. Now, I had the developer turn these to red and green, so it's simple. I love looking at it. I love when it's red and green. And then we see the market return for QDTE is up $4, XDTE is up $2, RDTE is still up 90 cents, even though we had that shift, which is really interesting to me. I wonder how that plays in with Moomoo. We are looking at the after hours data on Moomoo, so it's a little bit different. I don't know if this tracks with the aftermarket hours. It probably doesn't, because I don't think Seeking Alpha does, and that's where the data is pulled. It's pulled from Seeking Alpha. We have a $5.91 gain just on price appreciation with YMAG, which again is absolutely insane. And then we have YMAX with a $3.61 return. Now, the cool thing with this is if you imagine we've done this for 11 weeks now, so you could multiply this by 4, and that's roughly your yearly return, if not even more. So you're looking at a 20% return, 24% return with YMAG without distributions. That's just price appreciation. And that's going to be some tougher math. Still, 18% with YMAX? Multiply that by 4. No, 12. Under 12. But still, I'm really happy with that. Over 12. 14, something around there. Don't judge my mental math. I'm exhausted. It's later than I normally film, so my brain's not working nearly as well. And then let's go to our total return and our percentage return. So total return for IWMY is down 11 cents, or down 0.11%. QQQY is up $5.81 for a 5.64% return, which is much better than I expected. Now, remember, WDTE outperformed QWD. Okay, wow. WDTE outperformed QDTE last week. It was doing better. It was a higher total percentage return. WDTE may be the best of the Defiance funds. So we have QQQY, solid return, but then WDTE comes in, $5.14 returned. That's total return value-wise. And then we have a 6.25% return. This one might be good. That's still a wild return for 11 weeks. Now we're really going to start hitting hard. We have QDTE with a 10.78% return. 10.78 total return with a percentage total of 8.48%. Absolutely wild. We have XDTE returning $7.35 with a 7% total return. Then we have RDTE with $8.80 roughly total return, and then a percentage return of 660. So a little bit lower. RDTE was the higher one of all of the RoundHill funds, and now it has trailed off ever so slightly. And then we have YMAG and YieldMax. Mwah, beautiful. YMAG with a $17.58 total return. So that is the value of the dividends plus the amount of price appreciation that we have seen, which is insane. That comes out to a total of 17.35%. Insane. Then we have YieldMax, a $15.15 return or total return money-wise, which is a 16.46% return. Again, the YieldMax funds coming in heavy, pulling the account up, making money. Absolutely wild. You're talking about a 16 and a 17% return over the span of 11 weeks. That is unheard of. These funds are just, they're blowing my mind recently. What are you guys thinking? Like, I never expected the YieldMax funds to do this well. I really didn't. It's absolutely insane. Now we can slide back over. There's more stuff out here. You can see the portfolio allocation just in numbers a lot. We can see the annual dividend amount paid out, which is what they're anticipating based off of what's been paid so far, or the yields pulled from Seeking Alpha. So you can't really tell. But what's really interesting is what they have an annual dividend of $6.99. This must be per share. That's why. So interesting. Yield on cost. And then I have the cost basis over here, which we can see our total amounts that we purchased with the in the account, and then the current market value. So again, a lot of these are down. Some of them are up really nicely. I really like looking at it like this. You can see the value versus what it's actually trading for now. So again, we see some are up a couple bucks here, about even. RDTE, which we knew that it was 90 cents, and you have YMAG and YieldMax, absolutely crazy returns. I'm really, really happy with this, and you can see percentage of total income. We're going to have higher income with IWMY because the payout is more. But in reality, our total return is going to be a lot more with these other ones. Total dividends received, we've had $8 with IWMY, $9.41 with QQQY, which it's been paying out some pretty insane dividends. $5.90 with WDTE. We have QDTE, $6.73. XDTE, $5.19. $7.88 for RDTE, $11.67 for YMAG, and for YieldMax, $11.54. We can also go to our weekly data tab, see all of the amounts that were paid out per week, our monthly data to see all of those numbers, and then again, you can go to your weeklies and look at all the data. I think it should be over here. Yeah, it's all over here for what we've been paid for the week, which is crazy. We can see we've had only $3.50 the first week, all the way up to $6, almost $7. We never did get close to that $7 amount again, mostly because the Defiance fund started to fall off, and so they paid really high initially, and then they fell off. So one day with our drip on, I hope to get back to that, but I'm really happy getting $5 a week. I can buy my coffee every single week. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I could if I wanted to, every single week just from my investment, but I'm not. I have drip on. If you are interested more into the YieldMax funds, I'll link a video at the end. And if you're into weekly dividend ETFs, I'll link that video as well so we can see the new weeklies that are coming out in 2025. I hope you guys are excited as I am. Again, you can get this spreadsheet from my channel memberships page. I appreciate you guys for supporting me no matter what. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.